أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Virtuous Women Connect series, Season 2, tagged Solace with Virtuous Women Connect. My name is Habeeba Muhammad, and on this episode, my discussion will be on why marriages fail. Yes, why marriages fail. Communicators say we cannot not communicate, meaning everything you do in life, you are definitely communicating, whether consciously or unconsciously. This goes a long way to emphasize the importance of communication in all spheres of human life and endeavor. We cannot do without communication. Since communication is an integral part of our existence, therefore, it is not okay to just communicate. It is imperative to learn how to communicate properly. You cannot take your words back once they are said, right? And if you choose to use non-verbal communication, you might be misunderstood if it is not done well, since it has to do with signs, symbols, and what have you. Well, this discussion is not centered on communication and modes of communication, blah, 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 blah. Okay, in my last episode, I mentioned effective communication as a way to attaining a happy relationship. Yes, research has shown that good communication can improve relationships, it can increase intimacy, trust, and support. And on the other hand, poor communication can weaken bonds, create stress, mistrust, and even contempt. Yes, can get that bad. Most couples are known to avoid conflicts, which is actually inevitable in their relationships, until they are ready to explode and then blurt it out in an angry, hurtful way. To them, this seems to be the less stressful route, avoiding an argument altogether. But this usually causes more stress to both parties as tensions rise, resentment fester, and a much bigger argument eventually results from trying to avoid conflict altogether. Now, it is much healthier to address and resolve conflicts between you and your spouse, because it is through these tough conversations that your relationship will grow and you get to learn more about yourself and your spouse in the process when you communicate effectively, of course. Like I said earlier, conflict in a relationship is virtually inevitable. You cannot avoid it. In itself, conflict is not a problem. Yes, it is not a problem to experience conflict in your relationship. However, how it is handled can bring people together or tear them apart. How you handle conflict in your relationship can either bring you together or tear you apart from your spouse. Poor communication skills, disagreements, and misunderstandings can be a source of anger and distance, or a springboard to a stronger relationship and a happier future, depending on how you manage it or how you use your communication to manage it. Now, using communication to manage conflict in our marriages, what makes most marriages to break of recent times, according to research, as lack of effective communication. So on that note, I will be sharing 10 tips on how to use effective communication skills when dealing with conflict to achieve a more positive outcome. Number 1, stay focused. During arguments, it is very, very normal to get tempted to bring up past-related conflicts when dealing with new ones. You are tempted to say, after all, last week, that was how you left you left everything scattered on the floor, you didn't pick it up, or that was how you did this last week, you did that the last time, you did that the last one. When you are dealing with the current issue, it's very normal for you to feel tempted to bring it up, but it shouldn't be so. It feels relevant to address everything that is bothering you at once and get it all talked about while you're dealing with a current conflict. Unfortunately, this should not be so. This often clouds the issue, and it makes finding mutual understanding and a solution to the current issue less likely, and it makes the whole discussion even confusing. You will not even know what you're arguing about, because you bring up this, you bring up that. At the end of the day, you're talking about everything and talking about nothing. Number 2, listen carefully. Most people often think they are listening when others are talking, but they are really thinking about what they are going to say next when the other person stops talking. So let's try to notice if we do that the next time we're in a discussion. Truly, effective communication goes both ways. While it might be difficult, try to listen to what your partner is saying. Do not interrupt them. Don't get defensive, just hear them and reflect whatever they are saying. Then you understand them better and they'll be more willing to listen to you too when it's your own time to talk. Number 3, try to see things from their point of view. Mostly in conflict, most of us primarily want to feel heard and understood. We talk a lot about our point of view to the other person to see things our way. It's understandable, but do not make it all about yourself. Try to see things from the other side, from the perspective of your partner. And if you don't understand what the person is trying to say, ask more questions until you actually understand. Once you are this kind of a person, your partner will definitely also want to listen to you when it's your own turn to talk. It's a win-win situation then. Number 4, respond to criticism with empathy. When someone comes at you with criticism, it's easy to feel that they are wrong and get defensive. It's important to listen to other people's pain and respond with empathy for their feelings. It's also good for you to look out for what's true in what they are saying. That can be valuable information for you. Number 5, own what is yours. Yes, effective communication involves admitting when you are wrong. You know you are wrong, you admit it. If you both share some responsibility in a conflict, which is mostly the case, that means both of you have faults in the issue at hand. Look for what is your own fault and admit it. Admit to your own mistake. This helps to diffuse the situation, and it also sets a good example and shows a high level of maturity from your part. It also inspires the other person to respond in kind, leading you both closer to mutual understanding and a solution. So try to always admit to your own mistakes first. At least admitting to your own mistakes should set the ball rolling when you're trying to find a solution to a problem at hand. Number 6, use I messages. What do I mean by use I messages? Okay, the next time you have an argument or you're trying to resolve a conflict, rather than saying things like you really shouldn't have done that, why not start with a statement beginning with I? For example, why not say, I feel frustrated whenever you do that? Now, saying I feel frustrated whenever you do that rather than you really shouldn't have done that, it's less accusatory, it sparks less defensiveness and helps the other person understand your point of view rather than feeling attacked. Yes, I feel frustrated when this happens. It's less defensive rather than saying you really shouldn't have done that. I hope you understand. Then number 7, you look for compromise. Instead of trying to win the argument, as it is the case in most relationships, look for solutions that meet everybody's needs, either through compromise or a new creative solution that gives you both what you want most. This focus is much more effective than one person getting what they want at the expense of the other person. Try to reach a compromise, a meeting point for both of you, rather than one person winning and the other person losing. It's not a game of who wins or game of words where one person wins and the other person loses. Try to reach a compromise. Healthy communication involves finding a resolution that both sides can be happy with. Number 8, take a time out. Time out. Sometimes tempers get heated and it's just too difficult to continue a discussion without it becoming an argument or a fight. If you feel yourself or your partner starting to get too angry or showing some destructive communication patterns, it's very, very okay to take a break from the discussion until you both cool off. Take a chill pill. This can mean taking a walk and cooling off to return to the conversation after a while, or sleeping on it so you can process what you are feeling a little more, or whatever feels like the best fit for the two of you. So long as you do return to the conversation, just ensure that you return to it after your time out. Sometimes good communication means knowing when to take a break. Don't overstretch it. Number 9, keep at it. While taking a break from the discussion is sometimes a good idea, always ensure you come back to it. If you both approach the situation with a constructive attitude, mutual respect and a willingness to see the other person's point of view, or at least find a solution, you can make progress towards the goal of a resolution to the conflict. Unless it's time to give up on the relationship, do not give up on communication. What does this mean? This goes to show the importance of communication. I'll say that again. Unless it's time to give up on the relationship, don't give up on communication. Number 10, last but not the least, ask for help if you need it. If one or both of you has trouble staying respectful during conflict, or if you've tried resolving conflict with your partner on your own and the situation just doesn't seem to be improving, you might benefit from a few sessions with a therapist. If your partner doesn't want to go, you can still often benefit from going alone. Yes. Before I call it quits on this episode, let me quickly give a few reminders. Always remember that the goal of effective communication skills should be mutual understanding and finding a solution that pleases both parties, not winning the argument or being right. Like I said earlier, it's not a matter of who is right or who is wrong. Winning or losing is a matter of reaching a compromise. This doesn't work in every situation, but sometimes if you're having a conflict with your spouse, it helps to hold hands or stay physically connected as you talk. Holding hands or staying connected physically can remind you that you still care about each other and generally support each other. Also, keep in mind that it is important to remain respectful of the other person, even if you do not like their actions. May Allah continue to ease our affairs. Jazakumullahu khairan for your time. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly do so and tap on the notification bell so you are notified of new episodes as they drop. Do not forget to share with family and friends. Jazakumullahu khairan. See you in our next episode. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuh.